You don't know what he'll do when he's hungry. He might eat. He actually had pink hair. Yeah, I had, well, I had this color hair, purple. I had that for 7 years. I had blonde for like 5 or something. Ooh, a marble one. I will buy that. I had, I think orange. I had blue, purple, pink, red. I don't think I had green. I've had variations of reds. I've had variations of pinks. I've had variations of purple. I've had black. I've had copper. Obviously all the different shades of blonde, including white. I can't remember what else. I keep the Masterwork chairs. Yeah, I've had a lot of different hair colors. That was the best part about like working in like the computer store. They didn't really care about the hair colors. As long as you could do your job, they didn't really give you much of a shit. I don't want to sell the hospital beds. Hold on. I'm gonna accidentally sell those. That's already way too much. It's just pitching Amazon woman in black goth style with really pink hair, and it's not the greatest image ever. I think though that like you kind of like are a little bit too fixated on like the goth aspect. Like I wear dark clothing, right? All of my stuff is just black, generally speaking. But like I feel like you're going down the route of like the super hardcore goth with like the white face and the dramatic makeup and the scary hair and shit like that. It's not like that. Think of more like a corporate or classy kind of goth, if you will. Like it's very sort of, what would you call it? It's like urban camouflage. Maybe. I don't know what else to call it. But it's just all fancy black. Yeah, pretty much. Like you gotta remember, I also modeled and shit too. So like I mostly got around in like stilettos, high heels or whatever, right? And like skirts or dresses, pants, like, you know, I don't know, fitted tops and shit like that. And then I had like super neon bright hair and like dark makeup and shit, you know. But like all my jewelry and shit is very like classic kind of jewelry kind of stuff, you know, minimalistic and delicate and shit. So it's something. It's how happily stays at Shadow Side. No. I don't know what else to sell these guys. They have way too much. I could just buy more animals. They'll auto-cull anything I can't have. So I guess there's that. They'll give us more meat. I don't really want to buy more food. I can. I don't really need to. I'm just kind of exchanging stuff at this point with the view that I want to get rid of, you know, some like boxes and some beds and some chairs and crap. Actually, one thing I should do, I should sell them the fucking heavy ass beds. That's what I should do. Sell them the beds instead of whatever was down the bottom. I think there were chairs. Yeah, the chairs won't take up much in a transport pod, and I can always gift them these anyway. I've still got a couple more traders coming, so it's not like I can't just give them stuff, but they're the Masterworks. They'll come with us. These are what's taking up my inventory space, and I'm not carrying them and I'm not potting them. I don't have to. I'll give the shit out of these, I'll tell you what. So this is literally what I was thinking about. Master jewelry. Yeah. The other thing too is like I also can't wear like silver and shit either. A lot of like gothic attire stuff is normally like silver or like ribbony shit and stuff. And like I sleep and shower and exercise and everything in like my jewelry. Like I don't take it off. unless like I have to clean it and stuff. So, and silver erodes through my skin, so that's not something that's pleasant to wear. Hey Keelan, I see you wagging your tail. Catching the last stream of the year. What is this? Alright, let's trade him that. And then wherever the fuck Johnson is, I'll get them to see if they want gifts. It's a good time to be doing this anyway, because it's kind of like Christmas anyway, you know? So let's do gifts. I want to see if I can get them...
Cheese.
Cheese indeed. I want to see if I can get them some more beds, honestly. Nothing will happen, Viking. I'm too dead to move. Still getting rid of the stress of last month's work. Lol. So that headset ran out of power, so I can't even lurk properly. It's all good, Killon. It's nice to see you though. Like I said, like I will be in and around Discord and stuff, but casually this time. I don't think I took a proper holiday last year over Christmas and New Year's. I think I still streamed, and I definitely still worked on like video stuff in between like everything. So yeah, I definitely want to kind of like just pop in and out, and like I don't know, like what I've been doing basically is like just if I have something to say, I have something to say. If I don't, I don't. So Discord's like relatively quiet for the most part, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be like stuff later. I also, oh yeah, the fucking this weekend and shit. Hold on, let's get rid of you guys. I forgot to tell you about this weekend. I told you guys a bit in Discord, which is why I think I completely cleared it from my brain. Shit. Have some cheese. It's not a long throw this time. Lol. You could have just zoomed me in. It would have been fine. Could have like zoomed me in, got some sparkles, and slapped me with some cheese. It would have been perfectly fine. It's a Huffley gives feather tequila. No. To help with stress. Yeah, so this weekend I did bowling and darts and shit. My partner's sister was over from the other side of Australia, from Perth and shit. And I only get to see her like once a year. And so we decided to go and do bowling and darts. And yeah, so I used to be a league bowler. I was talking about this the other day and stuff, but because of like my back, hip and neck injury and all that sort of stuff, I can't bend properly, and I can't swivel my hips out of the way of the ball passing past my leg. So I tend to just smash the ball into my hip or thigh or whatever, right? In this case, like I've said this a few times, but my health is in a really good place at the moment. Like it's not just like medical, mental, it's also physical health and shit. And yeah, it was just kind of nice that when I went to do the bowling, like I couldn't bend. I still couldn't bend, right? But I was able to move a little bit more fluidly. The only problem is like I must have had some like really intense like grip strength and shit back when I used to do the league bowling, because when I was using like the house ball and all that sort of stuff this time, because obviously I've long since like gotten rid of my personalized ball and equipment and shit, right? But I went to bowl a ball and I almost did exactly what you see on like the Wii games, where I almost released it backwards into the crowd. And because like my hand gave out mid swing, and I'm like, well shit, that one got like thrown wonky down the thing, but it was fine. And yeah, so I didn't end up hitting my leg at all. My hand and wrists and stuff were kind of like capped out from that shit. I somehow bruised the fuck out of my arm, though. I am not 100% sure. We kind of figured out that it had to have been like the side of my bra or something was like absolutely scratching the shit out of my arm, but also like gouging it to be bruised. It was bad. Anyway, so like I was obviously sore and uncomfortable from all that business going on, which was unpleasant, but there was really nothing I could kind of do about that. But then we went and did dance afterwards. We were supposed to do it like a lot later on, but we were able to do it like soon after, which was kind of nice. And yeah, it was kind of fun. They had this like digital setup thing going, and the kind of concept was that you kind of like pick a game mode and it like overlays a dart sort of game on it. So like I got to play like a Cheesy Invaders kind of mock game and some other shit. And it was pretty fun. But like, man, I fucking suck at darts, eh? I also used to be really good at darts, and that doesn't really require any like anything really to do with any of my old injuries and shit. But I don't think that doing it right after bowling was a smart idea. And yeah, I just don't have aim. I definitely don't have as much muscle memory for darts as I did for bowling, because I was able to pick it up with bowling after about half the game, which if I had have had like a practice beforehand, I probably would have been okay, but I wouldn't have been able to have held the ball until the last frame, so it's a good thing I didn't. But it was fun. I came completely last in like everything, but I don't really care. It was nice, and like my injuries and stuff like that just didn't make me feel less than for once, you know. Previous times when I've gone out and done these events, you know, I sort of have it in my mind that, you know, I was able to do these things and it plagues me that I can't do it and stuff. Whereas this time I was able to just be there and enjoy it, and it was nice, you know. So yeah, I got to actually like enjoy it, even though it was like really fucking hard, but it was fun. And yeah, the funniest part is that like his sister had to fly back that afternoon, right? So we don't know how she's doing so much after darts, but Nick and I, our arms are killing us. And like I said to him, I'm like, how's your arm doing? Because I literally woke up out of the dead of sleep, right? I woke up at the point in time where my painkillers stopped working because I rolled over onto my arm and it jolted me awake. That's how much it was hurting afterwards. And yeah, my partner was the same. He's like, yeah, it hurts really, really badly. I also dropped a glass. We got these nice Simpsons cups, and I was like, oh, you know, I'll probably drop them eventually. I know what I'm like. I fumble shit all the time. And anyway, so it turns out that I pick up glasses in the exact same finger configuration that I that I bowl with. And so when I went to try to pick up the glass, I did not have any strength left in my hand, and I promptly dropped the fucking glass. So it was a brand new one, and I'm like, well, that sucks. And the only bad part about that, the only actual bad part about that, as far as I'm concerned, was the fact that the glass shattered really close to Asora, and I don't think it hit her. It looked like it like hit her with like a couple of chunks, but she was fine. She was completely unhurt. We checked her a couple of times over to make sure she was okay. But it scared the shit out of her. So that's realistically like the only downside to the whole thing, is that it scared Asora. And I wouldn't want that. You know, I wouldn't want her to be scared for no reason. I also realized I've been putting these doors on like the outer side. But yeah, ironically, Nick went to pick up a glass earlier today, and he didn't drop it, right? He caught himself in time, but he understood. He said, you know, I almost did the exact same thing you did. I actually like can see how you dropped that, because I went to pick up a glass too, and my arm just like gave out trying to pick it up, and I'm like, yeah. It was kind of like the downside to doing the bowling and the darts. But in saying that, like, we didn't have to fucking fly. We didn't have to be in a cramped little airplane and shit. So I don't know how his sister felt, because like she was supposed to be staying at her like parents-in-law's place when she got home, because it's too far for her to travel back home and shit. And I'm like, man, she is gonna be sore. She's not gonna forget this visit, I'll tell you that much, not for a while. It sounds so menacing and mean, but it's like, she ain't gonna forget this one, you know? But yeah, it was still a nice time, you know? Not being able to pick up a class specifically is such a funny debuff. Well, the thing is, like, I've said this before, that I have, repetitive strain syndrome, whatever it is, in my wrists. I used to get it a lot. I was borderline carpal tunnel when I did my weightlifting, my drawing, my touch typing for work, something else. It's mostly the weightlifting capped me, but also like the drawing and shit would do it. And these days, like, I only really get it if, like, I do really repetitive motion with the computer and stuff. Like, if I'm doing editing and I'm constantly moving the mouse like this kind of thing, I will fuck over my wrist real quick. Like, even just doing that was pretty kind of painful. Because, like, I used to do that on spreadsheets. You'd be, like, constantly, like, clicking back and forth and shit. And, yeah. It comes on pretty fast and stuff, but it doesn't get too bad these days, but I still have it. So every so often, there's this like little, what do you call it? It's kind of like a little like pouch of like nerve fluid stuff in your wrist. I don't know what it's called. It's like a bursa or something like that. And I can't remember if there's a small amount of swelling in that area, it can cut off the nerve signals or something to your hand. I get it every so often. I get it when I like do too much stuff, and yeah, I get like wrist weakness, and then I start dropping things. I'm aware of it, so I keep an eye on it, and sometimes it can be like a side effect of like if my back's not doing good and stuff, but there's nothing I can really do about that. If I try to like exercise my wrists and stuff like that, it kind of makes the problem worse. So I normally just will put on like a support sock or something like that for my wrist, and just give it a little bit of like extra attention, like grab a glass with two hands, you know. But yeah, this particular situation was more of like just not really thinking about, you know, the result of like how I pick up a glass and crap. It was just more so funny from that. But it was also kind of funny because like Nick's got the same thing, but he's got it in his other arm. Like I'm ambidextrous, right? So I can, if I want to, if I need to, I could absolutely just use either arm for a while and make up for it and stuff. But I still kind of like keep defaulting to the right at the moment, which is funny because when I did like the cleaning the garage, when I did the several hours of that, I was like back and forth on both sides, and it was so friggin' even. When everything ached, it was very even. Just gonna have some of my drink. Oh. But yeah, I realized I also did like 2 weekends back to back of really intense like physical labor stuff. And like even this week I'll be like getting around and doing stuff. Like, as I said earlier, I kind of like went through like my cupboard and fridge and shit to just check for any like expired shit, end of the year kind of stuff, you know. But also like we get these like pantry pest bugs, and so it's kind of good to go through every so often, make sure that there's really like none of them in anything. The more we check, the less we have each year, hopefully. So, you know, gotta try. But yeah, I'm also hoping to like snag bin day this week with a mostly empty bin so that I can like do some extra shit. It's really weird. I've said this before, but it's really weird that to have like to kind of feel normal. Um, it feels weird to say that because a lot of people don't understand what I mean to feel normal, but like I've had like injuries and illness for like over a decade and stuff, right? And now that that's not plaguing and riddling my body at the moment, I can kind of just function and I have energy to do stuff. Um, it's not even that I have the energy to do stuff. I just kind of like feel like I'm capable of it for the first time in a decade, which is saying a huge amount. Like I said, like my general physical health, I was saying this the other week, but I feel like like mobility and stuff. I feel like I'm like structured better. I have no words for how to put this into like proper sentences and shit. But that's what it feels like. It's just like my physical alignment feels like it's the natural spine way that it's supposed to be instead of whatever the fuck it's been the last decade. I don't know. But yeah, to say I feel good is like a mild understatement. I feel great, which is good. But it's still just like with the Crohn's, like lifting and being able to eat food and stuff again. It feels weird. It feels weird because I'm just not used to it at this time. Like in a sense, I kind of don't want to get used to it. It's not even about like a oh, what if it changes kind of thing. It's more like I kind of want to remain humbled by my experience, if that makes any sense to anybody, you know. It's probably a very weird concept, but it's fine. It's glad to hear it. Yeah, it gets confusing sometimes because like I'll have sickness and stuff, but I'm like doing better than I have in a long time, you know. So when nowadays when I say like I'm sick or I'm doing well and stuff like that, it means something different than it did like a year ago, you know. The other thing too is when you have like chronic illnesses and shit like that, there is like a what do you call it? There's like a your normal is like the new normal or whatever it is. Like a chronically ill person's normal is not the same as a average person's like normal kind of thing. And you just kind of adapt to it. It's just how your body does stuff. It just goes, okay, this is what life is like now, and it just deals with it, you know. So yeah, out of the blue you'll be like, oh, I can't do this anymore, and you don't even notice. In this case, it's going in reverse, and it's very confusing because I'm watching it like unravel. Like it's like a slinky, except like instead of going downstairs, I'm watching it go back up. It's bizarre. That's what it looks and feels like to me in the experience. It's literally my whole world's going a slinky upwards, you know. But that's the best way I can describe it to people that don't have like chronic illnesses. It's like it would feel just as weird to see that, you know, for any other person kind of thing. I also realized that I made like nice bookshelves in here, and then I went ahead and made extra ones, but it's fine. I can move them around into different areas of the place, so it won't really matter too much. I also see there's like an extra bench here. So the other thing I gotta quickly check is, do we have enough marble blocks? I got like 500. Okay, well, it's time to keep building little rooms and doors and shit. I kind of need my people to come down and build these like urgently because when we move I'm gonna need them built urgently, but for the moment they're doing about as best they can. I think what I was gonna do here was I was gonna not have that cut through. That's what I was trying to see before, was the width of this, but it would mean that I'd lose that little spick of a grow space, you know. Hey Jaylee, what are you up to? What are you doing? I think I'll still allow that because then they can walk through there. I was going to cap it at the top and then this was going to be sectioned, but it'd be fine. Didn't you say that your last time was last stream of the year? No, I said that the last stream I did last week was the last Project Zomboid stream of the year, and that I still had one on Monday, and that's today. But it was going to be confusing because Monday's stream was going to be RimWorld, and RimWorld is usually Tuesday, so it was going to confuse everybody. So yeah, this is why I tried to announce it as much as possible, although I completely fucking forgot to say anything on Blue Sky and shit. I was gonna say like Blue Sky and Twitter, but you know, I had to delete my Twitter account because Australia. What else? Let's see. Today I'm gonna stream and play Zomboid for the very first time. You're gonna try Zomboid. That should be pretty interesting. I didn't really take you as like somebody that would enjoy playing something like Zomboid. Kind of seems like one of those games where like they're gonna eat you and then you're not going to enjoy it, you know? Because Australian. There was some laws passed in Australia that you have to provide government issued ID if you're under 18 years old. If they request you verify your account, and while I am over the age of 18, I will not provide my government-issued ID to these social media accounts and crap, because like it's just obviously going to get hacked. The main, what do you call it, like not just like Twitter, but socials in general and shit will just get hacked, and then, you know, be part of some big data breach thing, and I just don't really need identity theft, you know, in my 2026 bingo card, you know. So yeah, any of the sites that are like requesting me to provide an ID, I'm just deleting, because like if they change the law about it, which they could possibly do, but I doubt it. If they change the law about it, I'll just fucking make a new account. It's not like I'm really losing anything. I only made the accounts when I started streaming anyway, so I just lose like the date of when I started. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I do expect to like lose a couple, and they are in here building. I do expect to lose a couple of the different social media things, depending on what ones they take issue with. But I lost all that side then. But yeah, that's basically what's going on. I don't really talk about it because I don't really go into like laws and politics and all that crap and stuff. I only keep this shit out of here. But yeah, I thought I'd just answer that one. Was it? I don't know. I want to try it out. What? Maybe it's Australian. What do you, oh, because the Project Zomboid, you want to try out Zomboid. That makes sense. I feel like it's going to be one of those ones where it's going to be like scary and confusing. That was my experience with it. Hey Beza, what are you up to? I see you sipping. Chilling, I expect. This guy is better anyway. So I'm going to try out Zomboid. It's on sale by a lot. I didn't even know it was on sale. I guess I haven't really been paying attention. I went in and saw like multiplayer was out, but I didn't know that they went on sale. I know they get notified as shit. I didn't really care too much about Twitter, to be honest. Like I said, like I only created social medias when I started streaming. So I wasn't using any social medias prior to commencing streaming. So they didn't really like, I didn't have like a big attachment to it and stuff. But in saying that, like, I did follow a few creators that only have Twitter. Some like very creative people, and some specific like outlets and stuff like that that I can't get access to on other platforms, or I won't be able to get updates from when they do updates and stuff, because they were only like using those platforms for that. So that kind of sucks a little bit, but like I'm not gonna fucking cry about it. Like, if it asked me to get rid of TikTok, I'd get rid of that too. Like, I don't have to be asked for that one. I already consider it. Hold on a second. I want to turn down my air conditioner. It's a bit cold now. Alright. Yeah, it was super hot earlier, and I took a shower before stream, so I was a little bit concerned that I'd get cold eventually, and I have. But I also did turn it up way higher than I needed it to be because I was trying to cool down the house a little bit while it's nighttime, because there's stuff I need to do during the day tomorrow. Which is funny because I woke up this morning. I had to check what time it was then for a second because I stream over midnight. I have to check if it's still today or yesterday. But yeah, I woke up this morning pretty early and I've been awake all day and I've been working on stuff. Like I said, I've been working on the Best of Aprillic video, which will be out on Christmas, and the cute Aprillic noises, which will also be out Christmas morning, which for everybody that isn't Australian, they'll be out Christmas Eve. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. They'll be on YouTube. What else? There was on sale by a lot, yeah. It was always scarier with people if you're playing multiplayer. Yeah, I know I was playing it like solo. I was looking at some of my old clips of like when I first started and how like tentative I was to like go into buildings or into rooms because like I couldn't fight off a zombie if I wanted to. It was pretty scary in that capacity, you know. I also won $5 stream card in somebody else's stream, so I ended up getting the game for $7. Nice. That's a bargain. Do I need to... That's right, I need to fix up these doors. This is where I've got the problem. There's a ton of people like the game, so I feel like watching me struggle. New play might be entertaining for people. Well, maybe. From like my perspective as somebody that like has watched you and has like gotten to know you and stuff, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much, but only because like